this really pissed me off this week, and I wanted to share it with you and get your thoughts. So this comes from Politico, but this has been all over. President Donald Trump's new pick for Surgeon General is a wellness influencer, Casey Means, and she's already the target of MAGA vitriol, underscoring a split inside the president's base over the future of Health Secretary RFK Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again movement. Now, this is a big deal because she did go to medical school, but she dropped out of her residency. She was supposed to be a head and neck surgeon, but she dropped out in her 5th year, a decision she's attributed to the disillusionment of the medical system. She's also echoed RFK's vaccine misinformation. She has impeccable MAGA, Make America Great Again, credentials, meaning she talks about healthy eating and lifestyle as a tactic to prevent chronic conditions, and founded Levels. They always have a product to push, by the way, you guys. A biowearables and health tracking company funded by a venture capitalist firm whose founders endorsed Trump last year. One of the founders, Sam Korkos, reportedly is now the Treasury Department's chief information officer. She's also facing backlash, basically, even by, what is this, Laura Loomer? I mean, talk about strange bedfellows. Maybe Marco Rubio can be Surgeon General and save us from this woo-woo woman, said Loomer on X. Marco Rubio, by the way, has 4 jobs currently, and I don't like the man, but I still feel sorry from him. And she's also attracted negative attention from other people as well, mostly because she is incredibly unqualified to be in this role. People are calling her a snake oil salesman and an influencer. And while she completed medical school, not completing residency doesn't really make her qualified to be, a working physician, and especially a head and neck surgeon. So I find this all very fascinating and also incredibly infuriating, once again, because I feel like RFK Jr. Was one of the worst people picked for his cabinet, hands down, in my book. And also,
he's got some good competition, though.
Oh, I know. But, well, it's between him and Hegseth. And Bondi and
we haven't seen Linda McMahon get going yet.
No, that's true. But honestly,
she wants to get rid of the Department of Education.
I know.
There's some contenders here.
God, we need to do a show just on the contenders. It's true. But I do think RFK Jr. is incredibly dangerous. This man wants to start a eugenics program. He's going to find a way to do it. He is spreading disinformation. He's basically shutting down our ability to have a new flu shot updated for the fall, which could cause, the deaths of thousands and thousands of Americans. And of course, COVID, he's totally turned the tide on that and created a ton of misinformation. But more importantly, what really bothers me about all of this is, Desmond, if your car breaks down, where do you take your car?
Someone who knows how to fix one. A mechanic or a friend who is a mechanic.
Correct. So, you wouldn't take it to me, a journalist.
Are you a mechanic?
I am not, just to clarify.
Then I would not.
Okay. So that hurts my feelings because apparently I am qualified to take care of your car, because I'm not a mechanic. I'm a maverick. And I'm going to find a solution to it that a normal mechanic wouldn't find out, because those mechanics, they're just trying to rip you off. I mean, this is the mentality of a lot of where these cabinet selections have been sort of started from. And to me, it's once again a clear indication that Trump is not working for the American people, because he's putting people in positions of power who are actively harming and undermining us. What did you make of this story of the Surgeon General being a residency dropout snake oil saleswoman in this case?
If you are following my content for long enough, you will see that I will make a concerted effort to try to find the connections between stories. It's just a common theme.
Yeah,
I like common themes.
Clearly, look at our show today.
Right. RFK Jr., as we spoke before, Linda McMahon, Pete Hegseth. When I look around, actually, people that Trump has given cabinet positions to, people that Trump has given ambassadorships to, there is usually some kind of connective tissue with it. It's usually either this includes Elon Musk, either you gave me a bunch of money and now therefore I'm returning the favor, or you gave me a lot of praise and now I'm returning the favor. Trump operates in very simple currencies. Did you give me money? Did you suck up to me? If the answer is yes to one of those two things, then I have a position for you. Everything else doesn't matter because I will sell it. I'm the ultimate salesman. I'll say whatever needs to be said in the public. Everyone will get on board. Everything will be okay. And unfortunately, to a degree, that has been working because people who are unqualified across the board keep finding ways into positions of power. Today, Janine Shapiro found her way to be the new attorney general for Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Fox News.
Wasn't another Fox News? What is it with Fox News? I mean,
just said
damn.
It. I know. Did you kiss his ass enough? Then I have a position for you to have. Like, that is the connective tissue through all of this. And so that's what I make of it. At the end of the day, if you suck up to Donald Trump, he will make sure that you have some position in his government. Like, that's what it really is. There's no such thing as merit. And they talk about that when it comes to like the DEI conversation, but that's just their guys to get around the fact that they want to marginalize people who aren't, straight white men. So like, they don't care about merit. They never have. Donald Trump is the most meritless president that we've ever seen in our entire life. So let's not talk about merit when it comes to anything around Trump or his administration. So that is my take on all of this, Natalie. It is another like brick in the wall of an entire like organization of people that have no business being where they are. Like, they are the ultimate example of failing up in life.
Yeah. Whew, I couldn't agree more. And I think just to kind of like wrap this up in my mind, what I'm really feeling from all the things that we touched on today, and thank you to everybody that joined us and left all of these incredible comments. We so appreciate the interaction and engagement. But what it comes down to is who is worthy and who is not, right? Yeah. Who are we going to allow in certain spaces? Who are we not? Who's going to be allowed to thrive in this new America and who will not? And a lot of it is going to fall along racial lines, gender lines, and economic lines. And we both have our own lived experiences that are not going to put us in the category of first in line for to be in this new America. And so I have to ask everybody that's listening, and to you, Desmond, too, at what point do we collectively say, this is not going to work anymore? Is there a true revolution on the horizon in this country? I don't know. I'm not saying in our lifetime necessarily, but we're a young nation. We're only 200 plus really years old, right? If you do the math, it's only, like 250, 230, something like that.
250 next year.
Yeah. So, oh, wow. So that's a big one. So we're a very young country in a lot of ways. Yeah. And to me, it's like, we don't have to accept this as how things are going to be. I always find that really fascinating with people where there's this sense of, this is just how things are.
Right.
Why? We've dreamed what we lived, so we can dream something else into existence. And I don't mean that in a woo-woo way. I mean that in a very realistic way of saying, if we bring enough people together, we can say these are the things that we want. And so moving on the other side of this fascist state, what will that look like? And will it be expedited because enough Republicans are starting to get pissed off? And could there be a day where we could see a true revolution where the people of this nation finally get the things that we all deserve, like clean air, clean water, like universal health care, higher education for free, all of the things like paid leave, all the things that you and I talk about, and real social justice?
There are so many different layers to this. I want to say, so I'm not sure that I can condense it all into one like 2-minute answer or less. But the one thing I'll start by saying this. I think America would be a great place to live if it was what it claimed it already was.
That's what we were talking about a few segments ago. Yep.
Yeah. If it just was what they said it was, it would be a great place to live. But the problem is that it's nothing what it claims to be. Claims to be accepting of other people, just come here and start your dream. This separation of powers, I mean, a place where people can just truly just like work hard and get what they need out of life, and they'll be protected from a tyrannical government. None of that's actually true, but it would be great if it was.
Yeah.
Do I think it can change? Absolutely, I do. I think there's so many different ways to do it. You can't just put all of your eggs in one basket. You can't just go to protests. You can't just get involved in community organizing. You can't just share information with people. We can't just elect the right leaders. You kind of have to do all of it in tandem. Yeah. Don't ever rely just on doing things in the community, and don't ever rely on just elected politics. I think you have to have a little bit of everything. I will say this, something I'm going to keep coming back to as we kind of get further and further down the line here. Who we nominate as the Democratic representative in 2028 is going to be an incredibly important thing that we do. Because I think we made the wrong decision last time. Maybe that might be blasphemy for some of you to hear. Maybe you really liked Joe Biden. I really did not. And I think that he kind of set us back.
Yep.
I think that as 3,000 candidates jump onto the stage to say that they're going to run for president in 2028 on the Democratic side, the most important thing will be who we pick among them, because it will essentially put into place whether or not we are going to actually undo some of this damage or just keep it in place. A lot of Democrats are really okay with just maintaining the status quo and just keeping things the way they are, not really rolling them back. And there are others who are going to actively fight to make things better and roll back some of the things that have happened and actually fight against fascist elements in the government. I think it's going to be very important to know who these people are, which ones are actually going to help and which ones are going to hinder the process of moving forward. I just wanted to say one last thing here to wrap up this conversation.
Yes.
As you are evaluating candidates in the future, and I really hope that this resonates for everyone, when you are listening to their positions about how they are going after issues, what they are standing up for, what they are pushing for, what they are pushing back against. Ask yourself a very just simple question in that moment. Is this position challenging power or is it reinforcing it?
That's right.
Just keep it that simple. Is this position challenging power or is it reinforcing it? And then ask yourself, once you have that answer, is that a good thing or not? Because there is some power that should be reinforced. Labor rights, for instance. And there are some power that should be checked and pushed back against. Maybe the ability for chemical companies to pollute our seas, that might be a bad thing. Our air might be a bad thing. The military industrial complex might be a bad thing. So just ask yourself, again, what are people, pushing for? What are they pushing back against? Is this a good thing or not? And I think that will help you kind of figure out whether or not you want to support somebody, because I think sometimes it's easy to get lost in whether or not a candidate is actually someone you should be endorsing or not.
Yeah.
Just something for the future.
And it's always a good thing to be in conversation together. And I appreciate you so much, Desmond, for taking time out as always to have these conversations. And for all of the people that left comments, thank you so much. I'm Natalie Bencivenga. Please check me out on Substack. And of course, my friend here, he's amazing. So if you aren't following his work, you absolutely should. And we're going to continue to do this because there is something to be said for speaking truth to power in all of these spaces and places that we inhabit. We are the government because we, the people, should be making the decisions that dictate the rest of our lives. So I hope we can all come together across party lines and put people in positions to represent us that make decisions that move us forward in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie, thank you for coming on again today. We haven't figured out a name for our show yet. I feel like you're subtly trying to have it be in conversation with, but that was your name of your radio show.
That's just because I'm so used to saying it. That was my radio show. We're not using that.
That can be the name. But Natalie might be starting a podcast soon. So that could be the name of her podcast.
That could be. I'll just continue that thread somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to figure out a name for this. But anyway, we will be back next Friday. Yeah. I believe that we will be here around 5:30 Eastern time, approximately somewhere in that frame.
Yes.
We'll kind of see. But we will be back next Friday. And hopefully the Friday after that and the Friday after that, we'll let you know.
Listen, we're trying to do this every week. So we hope you guys will keep showing up because we're going to be here talking about it because it's important.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today, everyone. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.